This is The Vast in the Dark in 5 minutes. The Vast in the Dark is a setting supplement sort of zine put together by Feral Indie Studios. Charlie Ferguson Avery is the author for this, did a lot of the art in it. Um, and it's incredible. I read it a couple days ago and I read it again because of how much I love it. Um, this is a supplement that you can use for an existing role playing game. So, Charlie mentions a couple of games that work well for using the Vast. Things like the Black Hack would work well, Into the Odd, Cairn. Those sort of like OSR style or dungeon crawling inspired games work really well with the Vast in the Dark. What is this? This is a setting called the Vast where you are travelers. It is a truly sort of like detached realm away from everything else. It is dark, it is alien, it is strange, and you have somehow, by some horrible twist of fate, ended up here and are traveling through it. And this zine gives you everything you need to do to create your own set version of what the Vast is. Multiple different versions of maps. It has rules for exploration. It has rules for exhaustion. It has rules for your characters slowly losing themselves over time as things get worse and worse and worse for them. If you want a setting where you kind of explore strange alien megastructures in a strange alien place, this is the game for you. Or it's really the supplement for you. The things that really stuck out to me with the Vast are the map making tools. So there's sort of like three levels of map making that goes on here. There's a large scale version where you can kind of take a hex map, and how you do it is you drop dice onto a hex map. Where the dice land shows you where certain types of terrain are. And the value of those dice tell you what type of terrain. So there might be ruins in a particular place because a certain value die lands on that hex, or other spaces might just be blank or wastes. Then you can zoom in on one of those hexes and populate that with even more things on top of it. So maybe in that area there are certain settlements or things like that that you have now populated. We mentioned ruins earlier. Well, let's go explore a ruin. We go one level beyond that, on top of that, and we get to my favorite part of the game, which is creating and mapping out ruins. Like I said, this works well as a dungeon crawl game supplement. So, what do we do in dungeon crawls? We crawl through dungeons or ruins or whatever sort of places that we can explore to find strange, valuable treasures and goods for whatever reason that we're in that particular dungeon. The ruin making rules are unbelievably cool. Basically, you roll four six-sided dice and you make a 6x6 grid of squares. You put one die on each side, and then you just start having those dice start zigzagging and crossing into one another, and it creates this very fascinating map out of hallways and rooms and things like that. Instantly, with four dice rolled in a little 6x6 grid, you have an interesting layer to your dungeon. And now this is a setting supplement that is just full of tables and other resources that you can use to populate all of these places. So you've built a ruin, you've got your four dice rolled out, you have a sense of what the hallways and the intersections look like. What is it like to go through there? Well, you go through room by room. And this book, it has advice on how to run things. There are sets, like a small set of monsters. There are sets of rules for dealing with things like exhaustion and travel and things like that in terms of like how long it takes. All of that you can kind of use as much or change in whatever way you need, depending on the game that you're playing. I don't want to ruin it because there are just so many really cool ideas for like places that you can go to or encounters. It's alien, it's weird, it's fascinating. I want to walk through the Vast as a character and just see what sort of horrible, weird geometric nightmarescape that I can end up in. I cannot recommend this enough for anybody who likes dungeon crawlers, who likes hex map exploration, anything that involves that sort of level of like exploration, crawling style of play. The Vast in the Dark is for you. You want to take a cool new spin on the dungeon approach? Do an alien megastructure. I can't recommend it highly enough. So do go check this out. You'll see the links for all of the places where you can find it, including this print version, down in the description. Till next one. Bye.